You this question: does knowing there are U.S. POWs change your level of support for the war? More for it, more against it, feel the same? Look at the results. 67% of you said more for it, 17% of you say more against it, 16% of you say feel the same. Remember, you can find the exact vote tally. Continue to vote, by the way, on our website, cnn.com/Wolf. Remember, this is not a scientific poll. We're standing by. Coming up soon, we'll go live to Fort Bliss, Texas, for a news conference. That's where many of the soldiers who were captured, POWs, are from their base in Fort Bliss, Texas. We'll have that news conference. That's coming up. I'm Wolf Blitzer here in Kuwait City. Lou Dobbs' Moneyline is up next, and Lou is standing by. Lou?
Well, thank you very much. President Bush today reminded America that this war is in the early days, and today the advance continues in Iraq, but certainly not all of the news today was good. We're going to turn now for the latest developments on the war in Iraq to CNN Center and Heidi Collins.
Thank you, Lou. Here now are the headlines. U.S. Marine commanders are claiming victory after heavy fighting near the southern Iraqi city of Nasiriyah. U.S. military officials are calling it the sharpest engagement of the war thus far. Witnesses say 10 Marines were killed, but the Marines say that number is too high. Several Marines were wounded, and members of a U.S. Army maintenance detail were also taken prisoner. Large explosions rocked Baghdad tonight, the latest air raid in the American-led bombing campaign against the Iraqi capital. One explosion created a huge smoke cloud that drifted over the city. You see it there. Iraqi officials claim Allied planes have been shot down, but U.S. officials deny that, saying that all planes have returned safely to their bases. The U.S. soldier suspected of a grenade attack on his own unit is now being identified. Military officials say Sergeant Hassan Akbar of the 101st Airborne Division lobbed 4 grenades into tents at the unit's camp in Kuwait, killing 1 soldier and injuring more than a dozen. Akbar could be sent back to Fort Campbell, Kentucky for military proceedings. The U.S. says Russian military sales to Iraq may be endangering coalition forces. The State Department has now lodged a formal protest with Moscow, accusing Russian companies of selling, quote, military-sensitive equipment to Baghdad. The list includes anti-tank missiles, night vision goggles, and electronic jamming equipment. All right, now more on the coverage on the war in Iraq with Lou Dobbs.
Good evening. In this hour, we're going to bring you up to date on the progress in the coalition's advance toward Baghdad. We're going to take a look at the strategic issues. We'll be talking with 2 generals, CNN military analysts Don Shepard and David Grange. But first, to bring you up to date, coalition military commanders say that U.S. troops have been involved in the heaviest fighting of the war so far. The fighting is taking place principally in and around the southern Iraqi city of Nasiriyah, that is just northwest of Basra. Up to 10 coalition troops have been killed. Others have been wounded. Significant casualties have been suffered. Central Command also says an Army supply convoy was ambushed. It said 12 soldiers are now unaccounted for, and they believe them to have been captured. Alessio Vinci will have the latest for us from the battlefield. A brigade of the Army's 3rd Infantry Division is now within 100 miles of Baghdad. 70 tanks, 60 Bradley fighting vehicles have traveled 230 miles in just 40 hours. In one engagement, the brigade killed 100 Iraqi militiamen. CNN military analyst General David Grange will give us his assessment of the campaign so far. And British troops are still mopping up isolated resistance in and around the port of Qasr. These pictures you're looking at are dramatic pictures of night scopes of the British Marines who've been pouring fire into a suspected Iraqi strongpoint. The coalition wants to clear that area of Iraqi forces so that it can use the port to unload relief supplies.